tour with Mr. Sheeran last year, and I got an email from my manager saying, oh, the guys who wrote I Want to Dance With Somebody for Whitney Houston have written a song that they want you to consider for your album. That in itself is mad. I was already a fan, obviously a huge Whitney fan, so I was just like a bit sort of starstruck that those two guys would want to write something for me. And I listened to the song and it wasn't quite right. I was a bit gutted about it because I was like, I really wanted it to be amazing. And it was, but it just wasn't right for me. And then there was this idea floated by that was like, well, you know, we wrote I Want to Dance to Somebody, like you should definitely try and sing that song at some point. And I think that planted a little bit of a seed. And when we was on the tour with Ed, when I was doing the Dance on My Own bit at the end of the show, at the end of my performance, I like mixed in I Want to Dance with Somebody and did like a mashup. And I think the thing that was special for me was people, obviously as Ed's support, people will probably know me for either You Were the Reason or Dancing on My Own. And I think with Dancing on My Own being the last song and the majority of people knowing that one, I guess, it was already amazing to see people's reactions that we were playing that song. And everybody always sang along anyway. But then for the second chorus to go into I Want to Dance with Somebody, song that has just been such a huge song everywhere across the world and everybody knows it, was that I got like a second wave of like excitement from the crowd. Pat Houston, Whitney's sister-in-law, had seen it. And she got in touch with managers and said, can we send the raw vocal and get Calum to do an official duet? So it's like that kind of call comes, you drop everything. I mean, I turned it around in a week. We had keys on there, strings on there. I did what I do best, which is making a pop song incredibly sad. and we sent it back to Pat and she loved it. It's really surreal. I mean, I used to listen to Whitney go on the way to school, on the way to swimming lessons, friends' houses, all that kind of stuff. So it's quite surreal to now be singing along with her. And it was really intimidating at first, I will say that. I'd give her a massive cuddle, and I would just be, if I was able to speak, which I can't imagine I would be, but I would thank her on behalf of the entire world for her gift that she shared, and that she shared so beautifully, and just how many people's lives she changed. I would explain to her, like, you have no idea the impact that you still have on generation after generation of people. You know, my mum showed me I Want to Dance with Somebody and all of those other songs, and I will definitely be showing my kids those songs. I would thank her on behalf of all of us. And I'd be like, please, I hope you enjoy the version. If she was like, not very good. I did sort of feel like when I was recording the vocal, I did kind of feel at some points that I was in the studio as if she was like, you can do that again. I just felt that presence. It was good. The highest of priorities was the respect. Not changing her vocal, not tweaking it, not adding or taking away. For me, it was so important to make sure that I was paying respect to not only Whitney, but Whitney's fans across the world. You know, there's understandably going to be millions of Whitney fans that are going to be like, okay, you've got to impress me because this is my icon, this is my idol.
There'll be so many generations of people who are just quite emotional at hearing this and hearing her voice like this as well. Those sad lyrics have always been there, but it does just completely change the...
Yeah, the way that you listen to the song. It was the same thing that I did with Dance on My Own. It seems a bit of a superpower for me to take a really upbeat song and go, how sad is this? But it was the same with Dance on My Own. It's a beautifully written song, and as is I Want to Dance with Somebody. I mean, George and Shannon have crafted a masterpiece there, but it's longing. You know, it's I want to dance with somebody who loves me. Then when you break that down, you're like, oh my God, like this. She's on her own. It's the longing and the wanting for love, which is really sad, but very relatable. Avenoir for me, I would say is my proudest work. It feels more confident than the other two albums. It feels more intentional. I've taken 10 years to finally believe myself, and I feel like now that I have sort of sat with myself and my imposter syndrome and gone, you need to calm down because you are good, you do deserve to be here, you have worked hard. Since I had that conversation with that voice, it's kind of quietened down a lot, and that's given me a lot of creative freedom and space and conviction, and you know, just the ability to believe in myself. And that's come across in the music, it's come across in the writing. You know, now I've got this incredible duet with Whitney Houston, which is mind-blowing. I've got a country duet with an amazing country artist. I've got songs on there that talk to, you know, the fragility of life and, you know, the longing of love. But then I've also got songs on there like Roots and At Your Worst that are like celebratory and, you know, anthemic. And so this really is something for everybody on this album.
Yeah. I was having a little bop to Roots in my kitchen.
Yeah, Roots is a I love that song. It kind of takes me back to like a older Maroon 5 kind of song, and as a Maroon 5 fan, it's like it's cool to exist in that world.
Were you in a tribute act for Maroon 5? You were, weren't you?
Yes, I was. You have done your research well. Yes, I was. Maroon 4, we were called. Yeah, I was Adam Levine for a short while. Wore the fake tattoo sleeve. Yeah. It was a. We were going to be a big deal because there was no Maroon 5 tribute band in the world that just did Maroon 5. So we were going to be. I think we were going to be big, but then he released Sugar, and I was like, Sugar. No, it's not happening.
You've been actively involved in looking for your own support acts. What kind of things have you been looking for?
10 years ago, I went and applied for Britain's Got Talent, but I had to travel to Manchester to do that audition, and then had to travel to London for the shows, and then ever since then I've been travelling to London and then got signed in LA. So there's been a lot of travel. And, you know, I understand that there's a lot of people that don't have access or funds to be able to just go to the capital city and perform. So I think for me it was really important going into these local territories and trying to choose talent from that city where I'm bringing them the opportunity was just so important to me. I mean, I wasn't expecting 12,000 submissions, which has been quite tough to get through. I have got a couple that I've decided I'm going to take on, and they're great voices. I'm looking for somebody who's got a great voice, something amazing to say, and that I can just hear heart and soul.
A lot of these submissions are from artists kind of still trying to make their mark, break into the industry. They're often working, you know, full-time day job. What was your favourite day job before you made it?
I used to work in Asda, and I used to be a porter. So, I mean, it's a really glamorous way of saying I used to be the trolley collector. At that time, yeah, I was the sheriff of the car park. I had my own lasso where you have like this hook on a cable and you hook it on the furthest trolley so that you can I don't know why I'm telling you this, but yeah, I mean, working at Asda, you know, was mental. You
Sounds
know,
like the power could go to your head there.
100%. Yeah, exactly.
The tour starts later this year. Anywhere you're particularly looking forward to going back to or that you haven't visited before?
Really looking forward to going to China. I've never been to China before, and I know that when I've gone to Asia before in the past, there's been a lot of love. I mean, Asia loves its ballads, you know, so they're standing Celine hard. So, like, going over there, I feel like I'm very much at home.
You're no stranger to a challenge. I've seen all of these videos of you singing in, you know, multiple different languages. What was your hardest language to sing in?
I think I can lend my voice quite well to accents and language. I try to learn a piece of language everywhere I go in the world. When we perform in any country, I'm like, right, how do I say hey, how do I say thank you, and how do I say I love you all as a staple. I learnt Slay Queen in Indonesian, which is, there you go. You see, I'm going to that extent. But I think the hardest for me was sign language. I did a piece of sign language for Biblical, and we worked with the Deaf West Theatre, and I learned sign language for my song, and it was really tough because it's a language like everything else, but it relies heavily on your choreography. It was really important for me to do that because the deaf and the hard of hearing can still enjoy music, you know, and lyric, and just like the rest of us. So it was important to do it, but it was really hard to get right because the slightest change of your hand gesture is something completely different. I think it's like anything in life, you know, there's different avenues for different things. Like you say, I come from Britain's Got Talent, you know, One Direction, Little Mix, James Arthur, all from X Factor. You got Shawn Mendes, who came from Vine. You know, Justin Bieber was found on YouTube, like, yeah, and then you've got, you know, people like Alex Warren that had huge moments on TikTok, Miles Smith. You know, there's different avenues, but what I would say is that not every avenue will work for everyone. You know, there's still people that will go on a TV show and blow up. There's still people that will busk and just have a moment. And I think in this day and age, you've got to use every method and every avenue to be seen. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of people trying to make it, and there's a lot more platforms that enable people to make it. So now it's about cutting above all of that noise. Ultimately, it will come down to the music. You know, the song is God. If you've got a great song, the cream will rise to the surface. So I would say to anybody starting out, don't worry too much about where to do it. Just worry more about what it is you're doing, and the rest will fall into place. You know, and especially if it's something you love.
Who would you love to duet with next?
I would love to sing with another male ballad singer, because I always go back to Freddie Mercury and David Bowie singing Under Pressure, and I thought that was like phenomenal. I always go back and watch that. It's because it's two really iconic, beautiful voices. It'd be amazing to do something with Teddy Swims, Shawn Mendes. Who else did I think of the other day? Sam Sparrow. Do you remember that guy?
Oh my
Black and
gosh.
Gold.
What happened to Sam
He needs to
Sparrow?
come back, and maybe a duet is what's going to bring him in.